आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवत् व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। बहूनामेमि प्रथमः
बहूनामेमि प्रथमः
बहूनामेमि मध्यमः
बहूनामेमि मध्यमः
किं स्विद्यमस्य कर्तव्यम्
किञ्चित् समस्तकर्तव्यम्
यन्मयाद्य करिष्यति
यन्मयाद्य
करिष्यति।
So Nachiketa, having heard from his father, Mrityave Tvam Dadami, that I will offer you to Lord Yama. Starts thinking about it. And how he thinks about this is also interesting. Bahunamemi Prathamaha, Bahunamemi Madhyamaha. I'm a good son. And I'm a competent son. Why is my father sending me away to Lord Yama? So he looks at himself, some kind of self-analysis he does. I may be either in the best group in any combination of people, or I may be in the second best, but I will never be the bottom. Some Tikakara writes some long explanations of this. How do you classify top group, Madhyama group? And it doesn't, the Upanishad doesn't mention, but Adhama group. One Tikakara, Anandagiri Tika, he says, Yatha avasaram gurorishtam yatva shushushane pravrittihi mukhya. The first group, he says, when he classifying Shishya, when a Shishya is able to anticipate, foresee what the Guru wants. Guroho ishtam yatva. Guru is not yet told him, okay, do this. But having already understood what the Guru is looking for, what is, but through various signals and through what's been happening in the past, he already does it. Now, another Tikakara also mentions this, not only for Shishya, but also for Putra. The dharma of a Putra is to ensure that everything goes right for the father, particularly when father is trying to do something like this. And I'm thinking, no, one more, in the same Tika, he also expands it. He says also Bharya. Bharya means spouse. Wife, literally, but spouse. How a marriage should be, where each partner is able to anticipate the needs of the other person and fulfill it even without being asked. What a wonderful state of relationship that would be. Prathama. Okay, I don't understand my partner so well, but I wait for the partner to tell me, please do this for me. I mean, particularly in a husband-wife relationship, not always easy. Because the woman's expectations are very different from the man's expectations. She will turn around and tell him, when was the last time you told me you love me? Says, Kali to bola tha. I mean, I told you only yesterday. Oh, that was yesterday, that's long gone. Their expectations are very different. So you'll be able to anticipate that and recognize that she requires that. He should be able to do that. Same thing with the man. He is looking very upset. And she is thinking, what is this fellow? He promised me to take me out to dinner. And then all the time he's so morose. Maybe he's got a problem in the office. Or worse still, maybe he's found another girl. How will I manage this? And she is looking at him, interpreting all kinds of things. And finally it comes out that India lost the match to Pakistan. That is all his problem is. Anticipating the other's needs and expectations and dealing with it. This is what is called Mukhyaya Vritti. Prathama. Then what is Madhyama? Tikakara says, Agnya Vashena Madhyaya. It's just a classification. Once you're told, please do this, please make me a cup of tea. He said, no, I'm watching the match. Oh, at least do that for him, for her. Okay, just 2 minutes. There'll be a break in the over. I'll come and do it now. Whatever it is. At least when asked, do something. Madhyama. Madhyamaya vritti. This doesn't talk about the third category at all, because Nachiketa doesn't even consider the third category. Nachiketa is saying, in many groups, I am Prathama. In many groups, I may be Madhyama. But he never mentions Adama, he doesn't even consider it. Tikakara says, Adama is Tat Aparipalanena Adama. Even when asked by the Guru or by the father or anybody you're trying to build a relationship with, then also you don't do. Dhamma. He doesn't talk about Dhamma. He only talks about, I'm either Prathama or at best in some cases, I'm Madhyama. Why is it contemplating all? Why is it doing the self-analysis? This self-analysis of his has to do with the next line in this mantra. What does it say? Kim svidhasmas yamasya kartavyam yanmayadya karishyati. I have all these qualities. I'm a person, a boy with a lot of quality. What service am I going to provide to Yama? What did my father have in mind when he said, I'll give it to Lord Yama, give you to Lord Yama? Nothing. There's nothing I can do. I am very good, but for Yama, what can I do? At least some Ritviks, if he had given me, Vishesha Ritvik, I would have supported him in all his Vedic activities because I know something of Vedas. I've studied somewhere through my father, maybe parts of Karma Kanda. I've also heard about Jnanam. I've heard there is something very specially available in the Vedas. But that also will come out later. What am I going to do with Yama? Yama is not something, Lord Yama is not something everybody welcomes. In fact, nobody wants Lord Yama to come. Even people who have been saying, oh, I become so old, all my organs have started giving up. Hey Bhagavan, Dharmaraja, please come and take me away. If Dharmaraja were to come, they will say, can we wait for a little longer? Nobody wants Lord Yama. What am I going to do for Yama? So he's arguing in his own mind. And this follows from the previous verse. Very interestingly, there is no direct connection. Here he says, Mrityave tva dadami. And from there, suddenly it jumps to this. And what is this boy contemplating? He looked at himself, he looked at saying what the father has said. And there is no direct connection between the two verses. So Acharya provides a connection. He says, having heard his father saying, Mrityave tva dadami, sa eva muktaha.
eva muktah
Putra ekante
पुत्र
putra
एकान्ते
ekante
paridevaya vanchakara
परिदेवयाचकार
katham ityuchyate
संकमित्युच्यते
sa eva muktaha. Saha here is Pita. Pita having said this, I give you to Lord Mrityu, this boy ekante withdraws into quiet place. Maybe he goes back to where he was sitting or maybe even to a corner. Why did my father say this? Why did my father say, I give you to Lord Yama? I am a good, competent boy. I know something of the Vedas. I can be helpful to some Ritviks. Why give me to Lord Yama? Iti paridevayanchakara. Contemplated deeply upon it. Thought, why is he saying this? And Bhashyakara Katham, what did he contemplate? He said, Bahunamemi Prathamaha, Bahunamemi Madhyamaha, Kim Svid Yamasya Kartavyam, Yanmayadhya Karishati. For what is Father sending me to Yama? What does he want me to achieve with Yama and what way can I help Yama? Essentially saying, I can't see a way I can help Yama. I don't know why my father sent me to him. So then his contemplation is very interesting. Read the Bhashyam. Bahunam Shishyanam Putranam Va Ebi Bahunam
बहुनां
Shishyanam
शिष्याणां
Putranam Va
शिष्याणां पुत्राणां वा
Emi Gachami
एमि गच्छामि
gacchami
Prathamaha San
प्रथमः
प्रथमः सन्
मुख्यया शिष्यादिवृत्त्या इत्यर्थः।
मुख्यया
शिष्यादिवृत्त्यर्थः
ऊनां शिष्याणां पुत्राणां वा. He is restricting to Shishya and Putra. Amongst many of these people, Shishyas and Putras, keep this, don't take it up, continue to read. Among many Shishyas who come to the Guru for learning, and among many children who serve their parents, Emi Gachami, I belong to, I go to. Prathamaha. So Prathama means what? Mukhyaya, Prathamaha son, Mukhyaya Shishyadi Vritya Ityartha. Mukhyaya, I explained. Mukhya Shishya, Mukhyaya Vritti Shishya is one who's so attentive, so sensitive to the Guru, whose thinking is so aligned with the Guru, that he is able to anticipate the Guru's commands, his wishes, and do what needs to be done. So I am Prathama. Shishyadi Vritya Ityartha. I am Mukhyaya Shishyadi Vritya Ityartha. This is the meaning. I told you what the Tikakara says. Bhashyakara also says the meaning is the one who is a Mukhyaya Shishyadi Vritya. Among I belong to that group which is able to see what the Guru wants and take action. Okay, in some groups, in some this thing, I may not be quite, I may not be able to, come some cases, anticipate the Guru's needs. What happens then? He says, Madhyamanancha
मध्यमानां
Bahunam
बहूनां
Madhyamaha
मध्यमः
Madhyama eva
मध्यम एव
Vritya emi.
वृत्त्या एमि
I belong to, I go to, in some cases, Bahunam Madhyamaha. That means Madhyameva Vritya. Emi. Emi here comes from the dhatu in gatau, to go. You will find many of the dhatus, just too many of them, the meaning is gatau, to go. But in the application, they have all slightly different meanings. Here it means that I am part of, I go to that Madhyama group. And that Madhyama group is one where even if I cannot anticipate the Guru's or the Father's requirement, as soon as I'm told, do this, I jump to it. I immediately complete the task. I don't dilly-dally. I don't give excuses. I make sure that the task is completed. So, Madhyamanam cha bahunam madhyamaha, madhyama eva vritya emi. Here Shankaracharya adds that one line which is not there in the mantra. Na adhamaya kadachidapi.
न अधमया कदाचिदपि
But I am never the worst. I never disobey. I never not do what is asked of me. This is my analysis of myself, my SWOT. I have done my SWOT and I am not adhama. Given all this, I can be extremely useful to some people. What use can I be to Yama? Yama Dharma has a function of ending people's lives. What use am I going to be to Yama? Tameva Vishishta Gunamapi.
तमेव
Tameva
विशिष्ट
Vishishta
गुणमपि
Gunamapi Putram
पुत्रं
Mam
मां
Mrityave Tva Dadami Ityuktavan Pita.
मृत्युवे त्वा ददामि इत्युक्तवान्
This being thus, that I being either a Prathama at best a Madhyama, why did my father say Mrityave Tva Dadami? What is the purpose? What am I going to do for Lord Yama? Saha
सः
Kim Svid Yamasya Kartavyam
किं शिवदमस्य कर्तव्यं
Prayojanam
प्रयोजनं
Maya Prattena
मया प्रत्ययेन
Karishyati
करिष्यति
Yat Kartavyam Adya.
यत् कर्तव्यमद्य
What prayojanam am I to Lord Yama? What kartavyam can I do for him? Kim svid yamasya kartavyam. Our can a duty. What is his duty and what am I supposed to do with him? My father is not he is an intelligent man. He would not give me to somebody who cannot use me. I am either Prathama or Madhyama and I can be useful. But to Lord Yama, in what way can I be useful? Prayojanam. Maya, what does my father think or consider that by me something can be done for Lord Yama? Maya pratyena karishyati yat kartavyam adina. What is that I can do? My father won't send me to Lord Yama without definite purpose being achieved. So why did he send me? So he says, Nunam prayojanam
नूनं प्रयोजनं
प्रयोजनम्
anapeksha eva
अनपेक्ष एव
krodha vashat uktavan pita.
क्रोधवशात् उक्तवान् पिता
There's only one possible logic for my father sending me to Lord Yama. He did not mean to. Although he himself has been asking his father, Kashe mam dasyati, dasyasi, who will you give me to, give away me to as dakshina? My father said, he contemplates saying, I don't think he meant that you go to hell. Sometimes they use these expressions, go to hell. I don't think the person means it. At that time, in the grip of krodha, one might make statements which one might later regret. So he concludes that there is no purpose in my being sent to Lord Yama, to Lord Death. And yet my father said that. My father has said, I send you to Mrityu. Even though prayojanam anapeksha, there is nothing that I can do. There is no prayojanam. The only logic is krodhavashat uktavan. He definitely did not mean to send me to Lord Yama. Okay. Now, Lord Yama can not really make any use of me. My father has said, I will send you to Lord Yama, Lord Death, out of anger. There was no other purpose. I'm sure my father regrets having said that. So shall we consider this not having been said? Should I ask my father No, Yama, I'm sure you said out of Krodha. Tell me, please, who will you send me to? Where I can be useful. And here, Upanishad jumps. Upanishad has this habit of jumping, sometimes from one person speaking to another person speaking. You have to make out from the context. Sometimes it just jumps straight away. In this case, Upanishad, next sloka, he says, having concluded this, what should the child's next move be? Shankaracharya says, even though I am of no use to Lord Yama, I have been promised to Lord Yama, even though it was said in anger, but it was said at a time when Dakshina is being given to the various priests and other Brahmanas. You cannot go back on your word. So whether I am immediately useful to Lord Yama or not, this has to be maintained. Look at the child's maturity. Out of nowhere, his father has said, I'll send you to Lord Yama, to death. He didn't react by saying, no, Lord Yama, he did think about it, okay? What will I do? It's useless. I can't do anything, Lord. What kind of function can I perform with Lord Yama? That is true. But having once said this, you cannot back out. Our entire culture, like we were discussing in the last class, is based on word of mouth. It's a commitment stronger than any kind of written contract. You cannot back out on it. So Shankaracharya provides a connection. There's a word called Vakya Shesha. You read the Upanishad, then there are certain things which are not said by the Upanishad, like Shankaracharya in between said, never adhama. It is not there in the Upanishad, but it's clear. And Shankaracharya interprets like this. Here also he says, Tathapi
तथापि
tat tat pituhu vachaha
तत्पितुः वचः
Vrishama bhut
विश्रामाभूत्
विषामाभूत्
evam matva
एवं
एवं
मत्वा
मत्वा
paridevana purvakam aha
परिदेवनापूर्वकमाह
परिदेवनापूर्वकमाह
pitaram aha அப்படி இருக்கணும் பரிதேவ பூர்வகம் pitaram aha
पितरम् आह
पितरम्
शोकाविष्टम
आह
शोकाविष्टम
शोकाविष्टम्
किम मयोक्तम इति
किं
किं
मयोक्तम्
मयोक्तम्
इति
इति
he says, even though I can't see great value if I go to Lord Yama to death, words have been said. Tathapi, even then, tat pituhu vachaha, the commitment of the father cannot be falsified. Mrisha Mabhut, like Lord Rama also did, no? Everybody begged him, don't go to the forest. But he said, no, my father's word has to be kept. You cannot falsify my father's word. I cannot falsify my father's word. If he's made a commitment that I should go to the forest for 14 years, Aranya for 14 years, and my brother Bharata should be crowned, absolutely fine. That is what will happen. He didn't say, no. Today is the coronation. How can you suddenly send me away to forest? He said, no. Pitu Vachanam is so important. It says, Tat Pituhu Vachaha Mrisha Ma Bhut Ityevam Matva, considering that you cannot do this, he approaches his father again. Remember, he went to, he had gone Vaikanta. He approached his father again, but with a disturbed mind. Paridevana Purvakam. He's also disturbed. All his thought process is very clearly mentioned here. Goes to the father, and what say to the father? And Yajna is still going on, Dana is being given still, but suddenly, having said in anger, Mritve Tva Dadami, father realizes that he made a mistake. He would have been tempted to say, Acha, no, I didn't mean it. Go and sit down quietly. Let's complete the yajna. He didn't say that. He was Pitaram, he went to approach the father and told him, what kind of father? Shoka Vishtam. Shoken Avishtam. Completely in great sorrow. What did I do? What did I say? Why did I say that? In the moment of anger, I said something I should not have said. That is the nature of anger. It makes us do things which we should not be doing and which we regret later. Shokavishtam kim mayoktam. Maya kim uktam. What did I do? How can I say this? My son is sitting there in great shoka. In Nachiketa, every verse you can see that he is being portrayed as more and more mature. He goes to his father, having contemplated all this, saying that I cannot be of great use to the Lord of Death, and yet there is no choice. I have to go. How will I go? So he reminds his father. I'm sure all of us have seen this happen. As long as the father is alive, the son, even a grown-up son, rebels. He will say things like, you don't know anything. The world has changed. He will say all that. But after the father passes away, he will remember all the great gunas of his father. He was such a kind man. He was straight as an arrow. I have known him to get angry with people who want to offer him bribe, who wanted him to bend some rules. Then he hears about what he did for his family, which I didn't even recognize how much he did for the family, how much he did for others who are not even family. All that one recognizes. But after the father passes away. And then he tells his children, your grandfather was a great man. Your grandfather was a wonderful man. He will not tell him, I fought with him all my life. I went against him all my life. But he will say, he's such a wonderful man. But he will tell his son, you come from a lineage where we've been people who maintain dharma, never deviated from dharma. Your great-grandfather has Brahma Varchasam. He has done hundreds of thousands of Gayatri, not one Purashcharana, but many Purashcharana. Purashcharanam is Gayatri is a mantra you do. 24 Akshara mantra. If you do that 24 lakh times with understanding, it is called Purashcharana. And that kind of Purashcharanam brings a certain tejas to the face. You can see it. People who do at least one Purashcharanam of Gayatri you can see that there is something special about them. You know, your father, your great-great-grandfather has not done one, but several Purusharanam. You spent hours doing Gayatri Mantra. So all these things we will tell his children. It looks like our Nachiketa's father also has done something like that. He's been telling Nachiketa all about the family, how wonderful they were. Now he is in the state of shoka. He is hesitating. I think I made a mistake. I should retract that statement. So Nachiketa tells him, can you put that back on?
One second, I'll share.
Actually, you all have the text. You can see from the text itself. All of you have been given the text. Anupashya yatha purve
अनुपश्य यथा
अनुपश्य यथा
पूर्वे
पूर्वे
pratipashya tatha pare
प्रतिपश्य
प्रतिपश्य
तथा
तथा
परे
परे
sasyamiva martya pachyate
सस्यमिमर्त्यः
पच्यते
पच्यते
sasyamiva jayate punaha.
सस्यमिवाजायते
सस्यमिवाजायते
पुनः
पुनः
Anupashya yatha purve. Our ancestors, your father, your grandfather, your great-great-grandfather. You told me stories about them. Nachiketa is telling his father. You told me great stories about them. You told me how dharmic they were in their dealings, how their conduct was an example to everybody else, how they would never go back on their word. Because that is what is relevant here. Once they've given a word, they will do everything necessary to maintain that. Anupashya yatha purve. Please see, remember our ancestors, your ancestors, my ancestors. They were straight. They would not go back on their word. They would not allow the words to become mishra. How can you do that? How can you even consider doing that? Particularly when you said that Mrityavetva dadami at a time when dakshina is being given. You cannot go back. Because he says, Pituhu vachaha mrisha na bhoot. May that never be falsified. Look at all your ancestors. Did they falsify anything they said ever? No, you told me so all that. Pratipashya tatha pare. Why only ancestors? Look around the world today. In every society, there are people who are dharmic people. Even in Kali Yuga, there are now dharmic people. Maybe less in number, but there are dharmic people who will not allow their words to go waste. There will also be the others, the adharmic people also will be there, but they are not our role models. Adharmic people will say something, do something else. There is no arjavam. You remember arjavam in Bhagavad Gita? No alignment between their thinking, their saying, and their doing. But our ancestors were not like that. Amanityamadam vittam ahimsa arjavam. Gunas of a jnani. Our people were like that. In the society also look around. Pashya. People who never say a false word, who think, say, and do whatever they do in alignment. Pratipashya tatha pare. You come from that kind of lineage, Papa. Don't even consider going back. If you said you'll give me to Lord Yama, I have to go. Not only that, this whole life, this Sharira we have, they're all temporary. They come and go. Look at the increase in maturity as you see each verse. He's telling his father. But Satyam remains. Satyam is permanent. Nothing changes. Which is more valuable? Sasyamiva martya pachyate. This is Sharira. You calling, I'm called Nachiketa. I'm going to grow and I'm going to die. This body is going to go. Satyam never goes. All things in this Jagat, in this samsara, are cyclical. They will come, be for a while, go. Like Sasyamiva. Sasya actually means corn or grains, and also the plant is also called Sasya. Prithivi Sasya Shalini. Part of the prayer we have. Prithivi Sasya Shalini. Full of this kind of plants. But they will also grow and the pachyate. They will be finished. Born is gone. Born is gone. That's a cycle for everything, including the Sharira. Like Sasya. Your great-great-grandfather may reappear as the lady's finger in somebody's garden. Gone. Goes. Gone again. Sasyam iva martya pachyate is cooked. The common understanding of the word pach is to cook on fire. But the whole samsara is on fire. Now you have also pachyate in the way our digestion system works. Vaishvanaraha cooks. You once cooked on the pot in the fire, you eat it, you cook again. Like that, the whole Sharira is getting cooked all the time. It's growing old, it's being cooked. Sasyamiva martya pachyate. Then what happens? It dies. And sasyamiva ajayate punaha. Reappears. Exactly like the way the plants do. Plants have a shorter cycle so we can see them. We can also see Manushya Sharira come and go. Sasyamiva martya pachyate. Sasyamiva ajayate punaha. Bashyam. Anupashya,
Anupashya,
Alochya,
Alokya,
Nibhalaya,
Nivalaya,
Anukramena
Anukramena,
Yatha Yena Prakarena
Yena
येन प्रकारेण
Prakarena,
Vrittaha
वृत्ताः
Vrittaha,
Purve
पूर्वे
Atikrantaha
पूर्वे
अतिक्रान्ताः
पितृपितामहादयः
पितृपितामहादयः
तव
तव
keep it there only. Anupashya. Kandan explain that as alochya. Think about. Alochya. About what? Anukramena yatha yena prakarena vrittaha purve atikrantaha. In sequence, everybody, all of the ancestors. Who was the ancestor? Pitru Pitamahadayaha. Pitru Pitamaha Adayaha. And all the others. Whose? Yours. Tava. Please look at them. Have they ever faltered? Has anyone ever allowed his word to be falsified? You told me so many stories. You told me about the greatness of our great-great-grandfather. You took me to see his samadhi. And you see them. They are the example for us. Incidentally, something very interesting my Acharya told us. That anybody who comes to study Vedanta with any seriousness, if you look back in your ancestry for 7 generations, you will find one sannyasi, at least one sannyasi. Somewhere in 7 generations, in your ancestors, you will find a person who has recognized what is to be learned, who has recognized that this Jagat, the samsara is totally valueless, and who therefore become a sannyasi. Interesting, because we have actually found it to be true. So if you start tracing your ancestry, you will find this. So anupashya, alochya, yena prakarena vrittaha atikrantaha pitru pitamahadayah tava. How did they conduct themselves? Tan drishtva cha
तान् दृष्ट्वा च
tesham vrittam
एतं
Arthatum
अस्तातुं
आस्थातुम्
arhasi.
अर्हसि
You deserve to follow their example. This young son is counseling his father. Keep that, this thing may be easier. Tam drishtva cha tesham vrittam arthatum arhasi. You are the progeny of those Mahans. You need to follow them. Vartamanascha
वर्तमानश्च
apare sadavaha
अपरे साधवः
साधवः
yatha vartante
यथा
वर्तन्ते
वर्तन्ते
तांश्च
तांश्च
प्रतिपश्य आलोच्य
आलोच्य
तथा.
आलोच्य
The same way, not only
तथा
ancestors, look at all our uncles and aunts and people who are currently there. Many of them are sadhus. Them also, look at them also. Vartamanascha, even today, apare, sadhavaha yatha vartante, tamscha paripashya. Look at them. Think about them. Alochaya. Nachateshu
रचतेषु
Vrishakaranam Vrittam
वृषाकरणं वृत्तं
Vartamanam Va Asti
वर्तमानं वास्ति
आस्ति
Asti.
अस्ति
अस्ति
There also, among them also, Teshu Vrishakaranam Vrittam Va There is no Mishakaranam. Na asti. Nobody in our family, nobody in our contemporary society or close to us or sadhus allowed the words to be falsified. Mishakaranam na asti. Nasti. There are, however, other people who are not Satpurushas. Every society, every era will have these people who live adharma. We also have, but those are not the people we want to follow. Tad viparitam
Tadviparitam
Tatviparitam
akatancha vrittam
Vrittam cha
Tam cha
vrittam
Vrittam
mrishakaranam.
Vishakaranam
Karanam
Most of that are people who are asat people, adharmic people. They will keep saying something and not and doing something different. Therefore, there is mrishakaranam. They are not our role models. They are not the ones we want to see. Nacha mrishak. Okay, he takes on to another level. The Shankaracharya. Okay, but what happens if you allow your words to be falsified? Nacha mrisha kritva
Ramasha Kritva
kaschid ajaramaro bhavati.
Kaschit
Kachit
Ajaramaro
Ajaramaro Bhavati
Kaschid ajara amaro bhavati. What is the
Bhavati.
purpose of life? Why have we taken a human form? It is not just to do some yajna, to go to some loka. Ultimate human purpose, and these are people who have understood that, is moksha, freedom. No. Even if you go to Svargaloka, you get Ajara and Amara. You can't argue like that because they are temporary. In the Svargaloka, there is no Jara that we know. But it's temporary. You will come back. Having finished your punya that we gained by doing all these good works, yajna, etc., you gain punya. That punya will exhaust. Shine punye, back. Like a bad penny. You will come back. That is not ajara in the true sense of the word. That is not amara. They are only temporary. Therefore, he says, people mrisha kritva kaschid ajara amara bhavati. Nobody ever gains the status of ajara amara. That is moksha. If you allow your words to be falsified. We'll just read the rest and finish today. We'll continue later. Yataha
Yataha
sasyamiva
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 martyah
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 manusyah
Manusyah
Manushyaha
pachyate jirno mriyate
Panchate
Jirno
Jirno
Mriyate
mritva cha
Mritva
Mritva
cha
cha
sasyamiva
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 ajayate
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 avirbhavati
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 पुनः आविर्भवति एवं अनित्ये जीवलोके
Evam
Evam Evam
Nitye
Anitya
Jiva
Jiva
Loke
Loke
किं वृषाकरणेन
Kim
Kim
Vishakaranena
Vishakaranena
पालय आत्मनः सत्यम
Palaya Atmanah Satyam
पापा प्रेषय माम यमाय इत्यभिप्राय
Vishayamaya ityabhipraya.
The beauty of the argument. We will talk more about it in the next class. All this is what will happen to a person who allows the words to become Mishra. Is that what you want to follow? There is nothing that is temporary. What is permanent is absolute is Satyam. Given all that, hey Pita, please send me to Lord Yama. He cannot go to Lord Yama without, although his father has said, Itve tva dadami, he cannot go. He cannot go both because he needs his father's permission to go and because he himself may not have the power to go. We will look at that in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om